This time on Beyond Stardom, we explore the substance beneath that superstar style. This actor, producer, director's first ambition was to be an astronaut. Perhaps that's why his favourite film is the Stanley Kubrick classic 2001: A Space Odyssey. Tom Hanks may not have been good enough at figures to pursue his first choice, but he's certainly notched up the numbers at the box office, starring in 18 movies that have grossed more than $100 million worldwide, including The Da Vinci Code and Saving Private Ryan. He won back-to-back Best Actor Oscars for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. And in 2002, he was the youngest person ever to win an AFI Lifetime Achievement Award. Tom Hanks is so akin to royalty these days, he keeps company with world leaders, like former Japanese Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi.
Your hair procedure is very famous in the United States.
And despite not fitting the film star leading man mold, Mr. Affable can still draw an adoring crowd of female fans.
Well, we want to see Tom Hanks.
You are a big fan?
Yeah, of course we're a big fan. Who isn't?
Director Gary Marshall thinks he knows Tom's secret.
He's handsome, not too handsome. He's funny, not too funny. He's crazy, not too crazy. He's serious, not too serious. So he understands how to do everything in moderation and make it brilliant. And I've worked with him. I directed him in Nothing in Common. I acted with him in League of Their Own. I played ball with him on the Happy Days All-Stars. So he's just got a quality that everybody likes.
But the boy from Concord, California puts it all down to luck.
Well, I can tell you, some of the best jobs I had, well, particularly early on, were jobs that no one else would take. So I was very lucky that everybody who turned down Splash had turned down Splash. I was very lucky that Big was a movie that they couldn't set up until everybody else had fallen by the wayside, and there I was. I was very fortunate that League of Their Own was a movie that came along, and they had to restructure it, and I was the only guy available that could go out and do it again. So just being hanging around and ready to go off and do the gig, that's a substantial amount of it.
While his early acting breaks may have been handed to him on a plate, Tom started taking much more control of his career in the mid-1990s. In 1996, he became a one-man band, writing, directing and starring in the comedy That Thing You Do. It set the ball rolling, and he and Gary Gertzman went on to form the music and production company Playtone, named after the record company in the film. Next, he co-wrote and co-directed the HBO docudrama From the Earth to the Moon. He teamed up with his actress-producer wife in 2002 to produce the surprise hit comedy My Big Fat Greek Wedding. He also partnered up with fellow big hitter Steven Spielberg to produce the multi-million-dollar, multi-award-winning HBO series Band of Brothers and sequel The Pacific. In his spare time, he managed to squeeze in directing a couple of the series' episodes. More recently, he's been breaking new ground, producing a 3D animation feature called Ant Bully.
Well, I think the 3D aspect is something that people want to go see something they've never seen before, and they want a brand new experience. We're not the first 3D movie, nor will we be the last. I think it's a great thing for everybody to do in order just to goose up the entire process somehow. 3D is fun, and it's when it works, it truly is magical. A little, maybe depending on the subject matter, maybe a bit more magical than what you see on a 2D screen. But in the relative theme of how to go off and see movies, it's a brand new thing. It's like a great sound system, except in a visual sense.
Although he was a little cagey about the plot.
What is the film about? Obviously you have something. Oh, well, then that's what the movie's about. A little kid goes and lives in the world of ants for a while. And other than that, it's about 88 minutes long.
This teen queen reportedly earned $15 million in 2005 at the age of 18. Since starring in the hit TV series Lizzie Maguire, Hilary Duff has become the #1 icon for impressionable teenage girls. Not content with a hugely successful acting career and 3 platinum-selling albums, she already has her own perfume and clothing range, bearing the less-than-glamorous label Stuff by Hilary Duff. In 2005, she knew she'd truly made it when her likeness was molded in plastic and made one with that other girly icon, Barbie.
Basically, Mattel made a doll, that looks very much like me, and I just feel lucky to be involved that they even, chose me to make a doll to donate the money. Whoever buys it, all the money gets donated to children affected by AIDS Foundation.
It was all for a good cause, but one Barbie was never going to be enough for the big-thinking girl from Texas, who's fast becoming a one-woman brand. A year later, she was launching a whole range of Duff Barbies, for whom she designed the clothes.
Of course, it's my style. It's what I like to wear, what I feel comfortable in, and to be able to incorporate that and then see it on a Barbie and see girls get to play with it and mix and match it whatever way they like is really exciting for me.
Obviously, they had lots in common.
I live in LA, and Barbie's obviously an LA girl, so we felt like, Fashion Week was the perfect time to debut Barbie fashion.
Despite her butter wouldn't melt image, there have been reports of a long-running feud with Canadian teen queen Avril Lavigne that erupted in a so-called drama when the rivals ran into each other at a recent Maxim party in New York. And the girl with the Barbie smile hasn't quite had it all her own way. In 2006, she took legal action against a stalker who threatened to kill her, and there have also been plenty of rumors about a possible eating disorder. Although her TV career got off to a flying start, her status as a film star is taking a little longer to develop. Her 2 starring roles in 2004's A Cinderella Story and Raise Your Voice earned her a double Razzie nomination. But she was full of beans about her 2005 film A Perfect Man, in which she played the scheming matchmaking daughter of Heather Locklear.
We've had so many men come in here and be like, I really love this movie, and I know I'm not the demographic, but I cried.
Despite Hilary's optimism, the film was poorly received and netted her 3rd Razzie nomination in 2 years. She made it 4 in a row with her performance in Cheaper by the Dozen 2. But that didn't deter her from putting her hand up to star with her sister Hailey in a film inspired by Paris Hilton. Material Girls tells the riches to rags tale of 2 sisters who find out that living without pots of money isn't so bad.
It actually felt like really normal, and it was really easy for us. We're really close in real life, and so, I don't know, we felt lucky that we had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and we keep each other in check, too,
We
thought it was really funny.
Yeah, we thought it was funny, and it just seemed like a fun project to work on, and it wasn't something that was trying to be really serious or anything like that, so, I don't know, it was just a good fit from the beginning.
According to Hilary, however, the film did have a serious message.
In the movie, the girls aren't mean girls, It's not like they are materialistic, and they do kind of live this life where they don't care about too much and don't have very much responsibility, but they do have a big heart, and they mean well, And at the end of the movie, they change, and they kind of aren't the same people as they were in the beginning of the movie. But there's a lot of people out there that you're like, I don't know, they just do, they don't have like, they don't seem normal either. They just seem like they kind of just go about life and stuff. And these girls definitely, towards the end of the movie, grow and change.
Teaming up may have worked for one of Hollywood's newest acting dynasties, but unfortunately, Material Girls left audiences cold. Produced by Maverick Entertainment, the film grossed less than $15 million worldwide and earned Hilary 2 more Razzie nominations. This vegan Christian recently shelled out $200,000 in a bid to become the first pop star to travel into space in 2010. Born in Harlem, New York in 1965, Moby started his musical career in a hardcore punk band. The Vatican Commandos released an EP called Hit Squad for God in the early 1980s. He went on to score 8 UK top 40 singles as a techno act in the 1990s, before releasing the more mainstream Play in 1999, which sold more than 10 million copies worldwide. Play also claimed the distinction of being the first album ever to have all of its tracks licensed for use in movies, television shows, or commercials.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why my music has been licensed a lot for film and TV shows and advertisements is that it has a sort of melodic, emotional quality to it, but it also has an atmospheric quality to it as well. And this isn't something I ever think about. You know, when I'm writing a piece of music, I'm not trying to make it atmospheric, but at the same time, I love the way that music can sort of transform the environment in which it's being played. You know, if you put on a piece of atmospheric music, suddenly it makes you see the world that you're in and the room that you're in a lot differently.
His smart business sense made Play a financial success months before it became a platinum-selling album. Moby's eagerness to license his music was motivated by his humble beginnings, but becoming a multi-millionaire does not seem to have brought about any dramatic changes in his lifestyle. He's lived in the same small New York apartment for the last 10 years, and until recently he was occasionally seen waiting tables at a tea shop he co-owned called TNY.
I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I've always, my entire life, seen myself as being this underground, marginal music figure. You know, I make records in my bedroom in New York, and I still make records in my bedroom in New York. So how the success of Play might have changed me as a person or as a musician, I don't know if I figured it out yet. Because I spent my whole life basically expecting people to not pay attention to me or to what I was doing. So it's a bit disconcerting to suddenly find myself in a position where people are paying attention.
He followed up Play with 18 in 2002 and another album called Hotel in 2005, for which he handed most of the singing duties over to vocalist Laura Dawn.
I mean, I love to sing, but I understand the limitations of my voice. So as much as I love singing, I understand if I were to sing every song on a record, it wouldn't be as good as if I were to actually get other people involved in singing on the record. So that's, you know, a big reason why I work with other vocalists is quite simply that I want to have beautiful singing on my record, and I know that I can't really do it myself, so that's why I have to work with other people.
Since becoming a non-denominational Christian in 1995, Moby has become a staunch advocate of progressive causes, such as Move On, which helped propel the Democratic Party to power in the 2006 US election. He also performs at many benefit concerts and was there to support U2 frontman Bono and his wife at the launch of their ethical eco-wear range called Eden.
I've known Ali and Bono for a long time, and I mean, I admire them as people, and I admire him as a musician, but I think it's remarkable that they're trying to sort of do this strange marriage of, like, capitalism and consumerism and altruism. So their hearts are in the right place, and they're making great things, so I admire what they're doing.
He also gets out and about to check out the form of other artists, like hip-hop chart topper Kanye West.
I've been a hip-hop fan since the early 80s. I bought a 12-inch of Grandmaster Flash's The Message in 1982. And so ever since then, I've loved hip-hop, and I think that Kanye is certainly one of the more interesting people in hip-hop today.
When performing live himself, Moby likes to push the boundaries. On his 2005 European tour, he handed out CD recordings of the concert 10 minutes after it ended.
Yeah, my feeling with live performances is if you're going to put something on stage, it should be really entertaining and really interesting.
This space cadet's Romanian-born great-grandfather was a spy for the British during World War II. Natalie Portman was discovered in a pizza parlor by an agent for a cosmetics company who thought she'd make a great model. But Natalie opted to be introduced to acting talent scouts instead of modeling agencies. By the mid-1990s, she'd appeared in a swag of films such as Beautiful Girls, Anywhere But Here and Heat. And by the year 2000, she was working her way through a psychology degree at Harvard University, while starring as Padme in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. She reportedly said in a TV interview that she'd rather be smart than a movie star, and that she was determined to graduate even if it ruined her career. But then, Natalie has never been happy to sit back and play the pampered celebrity. In 2004, she was delighted to support the Hollywood Foreign Press's gift of $1 million to non-profit organizations.
it's, you know, one of the rare moments where there's an event that's not about me, I'm a star, look at how I look at how I, you know, act, give me awards. You know, this is actually giving things to very worthy causes.
And she's not just there for the glamorous charity events. She's been a tireless champion of environmental causes since she was 12, when she became a member of an environmental song and dance troupe. She is also an ambassador of Hope for Finca, an organisation that lends money to female entrepreneurs trying to haul themselves above the poverty line in third world countries. It's a role she takes very seriously, taking trips to Uganda, Guatemala and Ecuador to support women taking part in the scheme.
Well, I mean, it's the least I can do, because these women are the ones who are really the heroes behind this organization. They're the ones who are working, and it's just a small opportunity that can be given to these women that can really change their lives completely. I mean, I'm sure Naima's story, she started out on less than $1 a day with 10 children with no opportunity for work. Basically, she was working as a maid for her siblings, and now she's running her own successful business and sending her children to school and hiring other women in the community.
Natalie stayed in touch with her Israeli Jewish heritage by pursuing graduate studies at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. As well as speaking Hebrew, she can also converse in French, Japanese, German and Arabic. With all her brains, looks and talent, no wonder she caught the eye of the similarly endowed Zach Braff.
She's so intriguing, you can't take your eyes off what she's going to do. And it isn't just being beautiful, it's just something about who she is as a person. And I've always found her just really thrilling to watch on screen. And the Star Wars stuff, she didn't get a chance to show off how talented she is. And so I was really excited that she said yes.
Despite Zach's glowing admiration, there were never any reports of any off-screen romance. Natalie's name has been linked to the likes of Jake Gyllenhaal and Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine, as well as multi-million-dollar banking heir Nat Rothschild. Although pleasing the boys seems to be near the bottom of her priority list. In 2006, she was only too happy to shed her feminine looks in the futuristic action thriller V.
People did come up to me and rub their head a lot, but I wasn't personally traumatized by the experience of shaving my head. Obviously, I got to choose to do it.
In 2006, she was reserving her passion for the opportunity to work with director Milos Forman on her latest film, Goya's Ghosts.
But it was just so nice being with someone who's such a confident leader. He really knew exactly what he wanted and was able to express that so clearly to us all, the entire crew and the actors. And when you feel safe with your leader, then you can try all sorts of crazy things, and you feel safe that they're gonna take care of you with their editing of the film and their direction, that they're gonna lead you the right way. And also it allows for everyone to have a good time, because it's so much less stressful when you have someone who's so clear and so expert at what they're doing.
This crocodile rocker is believed to have one of the largest private photography collections in the world. He's also an avid art and vintage car collector and has homes in London, Windsor, Venice, Atlanta and Nice, and is estimated to be worth somewhere in the region of £250 million. But according to his celebrity friends, that's not all Elton John has got.
I think he's got happiness. I think he's got a great life, great music, great friends, come through a lot of trials and tribulations, loved by everybody. And how old is he?
60.
There you go, he's 60 and happy.
And no one can say that the Rocket Man isn't leading a full life. His career and private life have seen more ups and downs than a Disney World theme park. As well as suffering from bulimia and being addicted to drugs and alcohol, he's endured major run-ins with the tabloids, a failed marriage, and the deaths of many close friends, including Princess Diana and Gianni Versace, who died within the space of a few weeks. He's also been lampooned for his outrageous dress sense, ballooning weight and hair transplants, but you'll hear no complaints from Sir Elton.
I couldn't have asked for a better life. I mean, I wanted to be involved in music, whether it was working in a record store, whether it was working in a publisher's, whether it was writing, whether it was... I didn't envisage ever being a singer. That happened by accident.
Of course, he does have the odd off day, like when he was being hounded by the paparazzi on his recent tour of Taiwan.
We had a great tour of the forest. We come to Taiwan, and it's thanks to you guys.
But after winning 5 Grammys and an Oscar and shifting more than 250 million albums worldwide during the course of his 4-decade career, he's entitled to a little temperament. His legendary flamboyance and appetite for the finer things in life have led to frequent reports that he's on the brink of bankruptcy. After losing a court case against a former manager, he sold a fleet of vintage cars to pay the legal bill. But that hasn't put a dent in his legendary generosity. The regular extravagant fundraising events for his AIDS Foundation give him the chance to combine his pet charity with his love of a good party.
So we've come from really humble beginnings, which were a lot of fun, and now to this incredible, sophisticated location with an immense marquee and a beautiful tent inside, and hopefully an evening that will net us over $4 million.
And that generosity extends to giving a leg up to up-and-coming artists.
I was really excited, and you know, he's a very special person who's looked after me in many ways along my musical journey. He took me out on tour with him. He has been a champion of my music from the very beginning, and I owe him a great deal. So to be asked to play at his party is another huge honour. So I'm racking up what I owe him along the way.
Other artists he's championed include Joss Stone, Moby, and George Michael. He even stood up for Eminem in the wake of accusations that the hip-hop wavemaker was homophobic. On the sexuality front, it may have taken Elton a long time to come out, but since leaving the closet in the early 90s, he's made up for lost time as a gay ambassador, proudly escorting his partner David Furnish to parties and premieres. In December 2005, they were one of the very first couples to cement their commitment under the brand new civil partnership laws in the UK. Emerging from the registry office in Windsor, they were greeted like royalty by fans. It was a similar story at Elton's 60th birthday bash, where celebrities were falling over themselves to sum up their affection. None more cryptically than Natalie Cole.
There's a persona about Elton that he exposes to us that's really very poignant. And we take it lightly, but he takes it very seriously. And I think it touches us in a way that we really don't totally understand it, you know. But I think that's the whole really description of a great artist, is that there's something about them that touches us. We don't really understand what it is, but we know we like it.